Hi, I'm Kathleen O'Brien, and I'm going to walk you through our latest release of the Citizen Engagement Accelerator for SAP Commerce. This is release 1906, based on the SAP Commerce Platform 1811. I thought I'd start with a quick review of what exactly the Citizen Engagement Accelerator is or is not, because we do get a few questions. So to start with, most importantly, it is a purpose-built extension that sits on SAP Commerce or Commerce Cloud, which is designed especially for the public sector and public sector use cases. Although many other industries actually use it, including healthcare, utilities, higher education, and even some smart city or purpose-built cities. That's because these industries also have a high focus on self-service type use cases. What the accelerator is not, it's not an integration layer and it's not an integration product. It does come with a host of APIs, though, which support the data movement throughout the various types of citizen journeys. And finally, it is a citizen-facing product. This is the product for the people, to put it in the hands, self-service in the hands of citizens. And everything we do is designed with that end user in mind. With that said, at a high level, what we've put into release 1906 include granular permissions, relationships assets, service requests within assets. We've added a Google Maps integration and a back office change for document management. So let's have a look at some short demos for each of those. First, we'll start with granular permissions. Granular permissions are part of the relationships and permissions functionality. And here we've added the ability to not simply give permission at the highest level of the capabilities, like just service request or for all assets or for all bills, but now we've taken that down to a lower level to allow people to select what kind of bill or which certain assets, etc. So let's have a look at that now. So here we'll start in Jane's account. She goes down into permissions and relationships. She can see who she has in a relationship set up with. She goes into Amanda. She can have a look there to see what the basic permissions are that are set up, which permissions that Amanda has set up for her. She can see that that is a granular permission. She set up access to a car. Jane's permissions for Amanda are also at a granular level for some bills. And now she can change those bills and say, actually, I don't want you to have the council tax, and simply change the permissions. She can also, for Amanda, go in and say, I will give access to service requests and bookings, for instance. So that's just another way to look at permissions. So if we go over to Amanda's account, we can see how that looks for her. And she will see that she has some pending requests. One of them is from Jane, giving permission for service requests and bookings. She can accept that. Next, we'll look at service requests inside of assets, as well as assets belonging to relationships. We'll do these both at the same time. Okay, so let's look at assets. We start in John Citizen's account. We can see that he has 2 of his own cars set up, and a car is there present for Granny Citizen. If we look at that, you can see that it's clearly Granny Citizen's car, the details for the car, and now we can see applications and requests, service requests that are applicable to her particular asset. So here we make sure that the application will be for Granny Citizen. It pre-populates with her car. It pre-populates, of course, with her citizen data to make things easy, and then we would simply go through the typical steps to submit the form. Kind of taking a shortcut there, but you can see that this application happens rather contextually as part of an asset. And finally, we'll see in Granny's account that the application that John submitted on her behalf is right there in her history, so it's all very transparent and clear for her. Next, we'll have a look at our Google Maps integration into Y-Forms. So what we did here is, if you go into Report Graffiti or Pothole, we've actually added the integration to Google Maps. So if you pick what kind of damage we're talking about, you see the map component right in the service request or in the Y-form. You can drop a pin, and then you could also adjust the address, and then it'll readjust where the pin is. And yeah, that's basically it. And now I'll have a quick look at a couple back office changes related to documents and how they're managed. Okay, so in the back office, in the document section, we are allowing you to configure different types of documents within the back office and view the complete list of documents in that single location. With the introduction of the document type attribute this time related to the granular permissions, this allows users to differentiate among their list of documents and define basically which documents can be shared with related users. Business users here from the government agency or city would be able to decide whether, are permits shareable documents, yes or no. So there's a lot of flexibility and control over how these are managed. Thanks for your time today. And remember, citizen engagement done well is good for everyone.